we welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House.
What'd she say?
She basically said that they were going to give unqualified.
Oh, God, how boring.
Why are they qualified to sit in front in the White House briefing room and tell America what is going on with the country?
And by the way, I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
The misinformation and disinformation that was disseminated on social media by these influencers and by these podcasters.
The mistake really is there's too much BS floating out there, and now it's out of our hands. There's no way to control it.
What's going on, guys? We got to talk about the Cackling Hens of the View sitting over here hating on Bae, a.k.a. Karoline Leavitt, okay, the beautiful young lady that they have as the new and improved, much improved White House press secretary, who did a phenomenal job, by the way, the other day.
3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
Of course, the Cackling Hens on the View are hating, not only because of how she looks, how she's young, and how she's beautiful. They're also hating because she allows the press to come in. So technically speaking, people like me, you know, I probably need more subscribers. They're going to have some sort of cutoff. So they might be like, you need 100K or 1 million, or who knows. But effectively, smaller creators are going to be allowed to be in the White House briefing room for the press, right? So of course, the Cackling Hens are hating on that. Sonny Holston saying, oh, people are unqualified and all of this ridiculously stupid stuff. They always find a way to see something negative about the Trump administration. You got a young lady, y'all called him racist and misogynist before. You said that Kamala Harris didn't win because of misogyny. But then when you got a very young lady as one of his top positions, press secretary is a strong position, and it's the second time he's done it, by the way. Sarah Huckabee Sanders was first. Then all of a sudden, you're not talking about misogyny no more. Now it's just something else that you want to make up. These people are stupid, guys. Without further ado, let's get into this.
Yesterday, the new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, gave her very first press conference where she announced that they're adding extra seats to the briefing room.
What'd she say?
She basically said that they were going to give unqualified.
God, how boring.
Unqualified
Can they get
people
somebody there
jobs.
not so tedious?
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you.
She pissed off because she said there will be no wokeness. She's like, how dare you? She said, no, there will be wokeness. Oh my God, I did not expect this. Let's keep going.
Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table.
I'm so tired of this. I'm gonna play the video, okay? I'm gonna play the video, but this is so tired. The women's rights movement, what was that? Look, let me Google the year. According to Google, women got the right to vote and to own property in 1920. From there, you had other different things like, you know, the fight for workplace equality and things like that. Okay. In general, women for roughly 100 years have not had a whole lot of issues getting positions. Donald Trump's first White House press secretary, his chief of staff is a woman. None of this stuff has nothing to do with wokeness. Wokeness is the people who take it overboard and the people who are obsessed with LGBTQ everything, the people who are obsessed with replacing everybody with LGBTQ people, replacing everybody who's white with a black person, replacing every redhead with who knows what the F. is always some sort of virtue signal and is never about talent and merit. It's just about color and diversity and trying to find what separates us rather than the things that bring us together. That's what wokeness is, and that is totally different from just happening to have a well-qualified white woman in a high position.
Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it.
What do you mean we fought? What the hell did you fight for? You got a whole table full of women right now. What the hell did you fight for? You had a successful career your entire life, including when you were a very young woman. I'm pretty sure you were in stuff when you were a child. So what the hell did you have to fight for?
And to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. So please stop using that phrase and talking about, because you don't understand what you're saying.
Is Whoopi Goldberg trying to imply that Karoline Leavitt doesn't understand the history of women's history in America, black history, Asian American internment? I mean, you name it, you could go on and on and on. That doesn't mean that you want to wave rainbow flags on the fucking White House. Whoopi Goldberg's being intentionally obtuse here, or maybe she's just dumb. Maybe I'm just giving her too much credit. Maybe she's just a plain old idiot.
You're saying about yourself that, you know, hey, that's a terrible thing to be. It's not a terrible thing to be. That's why we fought. That's what we were fighting.
Ain't nobody fighting for no damn wokeness.
For, so that you could stand in that podium, so that Catherine Jean-Pierre could stand at that podium.
You don't even know the bitch name. She don't even know her name. Catherine Donald. You just making shit up. That's how woke you are. You don't even know the lady. You probably need to watch none of her press briefings hardly, except for what you needed to do for this show. I watched almost all of her stupid behind briefings. I knew what she was on. I knew she was an idiot and a DEI hire. What the hell did you watch?
So she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her...
They some hating assholes. They some little witches. I'm trying not to call them out there. Well, I ain't trying that hard, but I'm trying not to be cussing when I call them out their name. But it's real hard when you just sitting up here talking about we fought for wokeness and she's only there because she's a 10. Like, yeah, you wish you were a 10. I saw images of Joy Behar when she was younger, and she didn't look good then either.
First press briefing, she worked in the previous Trump administration.
Whatever you're saying, this is the first time
which I think
that
is an
she's been she may be.
On the issue of the new media, because I actually think this is kind of brilliant, and I think future Democratic White Houses should do the same thing.
Yeah, there was Sonny's pissed off about is because the Democrats didn't think of it. If they would have thought of it, maybe they could have won last time. There's a lot of stuff they didn't think of because they were being retarded.
We're realizing this election, how people consume media has drastically changed. I think this is an acknowledgement that Trump realizes this. This is a person who made his career in television.
What's to prevent those media influences from being only on his side?
Well, there will be partisans, but I think it was promising that they brought in Axios, which is...
What are you talking about, Joy? All of the media right now is on the radical left side, with the exception of basically Fox News and what? News Nation, Newsmax? I think News Nation kind of neutral, but Newsmax. But you got MSNBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, and then you got NBC and MSNBC. And then it got like CNBC. It's like a bunch of different NBCs. I'm like, bro, y'all got a lot. That's without getting into like all the small people, the Young Turks and Breaking Points and all these other stupid radical leftists as well that always pretend as though they're neutral whole time. They out here capping for the radical left. That's without talking about the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the LA Times, and a bunch of other woke papers that still somehow exist, right? What it really is, they're just mad that they're so stupid that they managed to lose a person who is on the left. Joe Rogan, by the way. Joe Rogan is, make no mistake, a leftist. He just doesn't agree with radical leftism, which is why he voted, or at least supported, Trump in this election. And these people are not going to stand a chance, even if they do have their own influencers, if they keep the direction that they're going, where they're turning more people away from the party than the people that they're bringing in.
Mainstream, but then they brought in Breitbart, which is a right-wing outlet. And so some of the outlets that had their passes revoked when Biden came in were right-of-center outlets. I don't have a problem with partisan outlets being there as long as it's...
Why Sonny looks so damn upset all the time? Look at her. Look at her stupid face. She just look mad. Like, she must have a very, imagine being with a person, like, imagine you married to somebody who just always just upset and unhappy, even if it's just how she is on TV. Like, I can't imagine looking at my wife on the TV and she just mad as hell and salty and upset and bitter and mean every damn day. I can't imagine that. I'd be disgusted. Every time I look at her walk through the door, ugh.
Being there as long as it's representative of both sides, and you have non-biased traditional media there as well. Non-biased traditional media there as well. Non-biased traditional media there as well.
Flashback. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
And that it's fact-driven how they cover it.
The problem that I have with it, though, is, you know, she's saying that these people that are going to apply will meet their criteria. We understand that their criteria is woefully deficient and unserious. Right. I think that they're real...
And your criteria is sufficient and serious? Kamala Harris was sufficient and serious?
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke.
The person who you gave a layup to on The View, what would you do differently than Joe Biden? Nothing really.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Are you guys supposed to be serious? Because you do politics almost every day, and nobody takes you seriously.
The problem in this election, one of the real problems among the many, is the misinformation and disinformation that was disseminated on social media by these influencers and by these podcasters.
Mis and disinformation. The border was open. The economy sucked. The wars were started in part by American action, right? They threw a coup over in Ukraine and tried to get them to join NATO, and Russia was like, oh, hell no. Funneling money to Afghanistan, allowing Hamas to be funded. There was so many things that went wrong. Lying about that, there was no mis and disinformation. Sonny doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, or she's just lying like the rest of the radical leftists love to do.
Why are they qualified to sit in front in the White House briefing room and tell America what is going on with the country? Traditionally, to become a White House correspondent.
You know who gets to decide who's qualified? The people doing the damn hiring.
In order to be in that briefing room, you had to have a journalism degree. Yeah. You had to have qualifications. Yeah. So I guess the rise of mediocrity is here to stay.
They're making Snapchat equivalent to the New York Times.
No, but you guys are minimizing something really...
See, this why these dummies don't know how to win. Because, first off, don't nobody care about, no offense, but don't nobody care about a journalism degree. A lot of these people don't get in because they have journalism degrees. They get in, especially on TV, when they have law degrees and they get law licenses, and a lot of them start off as some sort of prosecutor or defender, defense attorney or something. That's firstly. Secondly, you don't need any type of degree in order to report news. You can put whatever slant or whatever spin you want on it, or you could just leave it totally neutral. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, because clearly the people who have the degrees do whatever the hell they want to do too. You think MSDNC is neutral.
If you look at where people consume news, 54% of American adults say they get news from social media. A large majority of U.S. adults.
Misinformation is literally clips directly from y'all. You just can't spin it. That's what you hate, is that you can't tell people what's real and what's fake. It's called free speech, you dumb broad.
If you want to go directly to the source and have people receive it themselves and put it out to their audiences, I'd rather have them in that room.
And I do think that there are a lot of Americans who do feel like the mainstream media got a lot wrong in recent years. And while there are editorial standards, I don't think that we can definitively say, because you have this degree and you're with this outlet, you've never gotten news information wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, the people hide behind their credentials. Guys, I work as a career professional. Like, I'm not out here working at McDonald's, okay? And people I work with are wrong all the time. I guarantee you, every person watching this probably works with a bunch of people. Some of them smart and do know what the hell they're doing, and some people are complete morons. It's just the reality of the situation at every place. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a politician, an attorney. You're always going to have idiots that you work with who are at or above the same level as you.
We can stand and say, this is terrible, but so we're going to wait and see what happens. And the minute it turns out to be state-run television or state-run...
Well, you mean like NPR?
I feel a lot better when I know there are standards people have to meet.
Yeah, of course.
And so
qualifications
you can bring in whoever you want. The truth will, the proof will be in the pudding. You know, I disagree that people got stuff wrong. People were, I don't know what people were looking for.
Instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person, potentially mutating and becoming more virulent and drug resistant along the way, now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person.
So that was a fucking lie.
Because the people I talk to were not looking for...
Look at Alyssa. Wait a minute. Where Alyssa face at? Hold on. Look at Alyssa. She's like, really, bitch? Look, Whoopi says she disagrees that they got stuff wrong. They got stuff right. They got everything right, as a matter of fact. And everything Republican was wrong. Everything Democrat was right. That's what Whoopi Goldberg thinks. What a dumb... Wow. This is beyond belief.
We're not looking for the things that these folks were looking for. And now that they've got him, are they getting what they want?
The CIA came out and said that COVID very likely came from a lab leak, and the New York Times shut down coverage of that.
It also matters that the CIA said that it was a low confidence report.
At the time I was at DOD and that was openly discussed, is a very real possibility.
Confidence by the CIA.
There is a fact that the media at times has gotten things wrong.
Listen, and that is why the New York Times, which has standards, didn't report on it.
But withholding the information altogether purely and saying that it's not even a considered theory was what the mistake was.
It isn't about whether they get it wrong or right. It's what they do to correct it. That's the problem.
That does matter.
She just said that they didn't get it wrong. Now they can correct it. Like, oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what a goalpost move.
Well, the mistake really is there's too much BS floating out there, and now it's out of our hands. There's no way to control it, so now they're saying they're going to control it. I want to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, keyword, control, which you have none of. Isn't it glorious, guys, that they were defeated? Oh, man, I love this so much. I love them. It's like you could just feel the power, and it's just, yeah, you could just feel them losing their grip on reality. They felt so powerful and so in control. They felt so in control of your life. Not there. They good on their life. They always were good on their life. They make a lot of money. They're straight. But no, they want to control over you. And because they don't have it, they are pissed. And you know what? I am happy as hell. Be mad. I don't want to just work for a big network and make a lot of money, because then I don't have freedom. They might be like, hey, look, we don't talk like that over here. We talk about XYZ in this way, and I ain't having it. I talk about what the hell I want to talk about, how I want to talk about it. Only thing that I got to do is follow the YouTube rules, and that's it. As long as they ain't locking me out for having more conservative leaning points of view, then we good over here, fam. But power-hungry Whoopi Goldberg over here cannot stand the overall lack of control. Sunny Holston's over here blowing her gasket. She's pretty much just embittered every single day. She's just mad because her husband's being investigated, okay, because her husband's been indicted for crimes. That's what she's mad about. Trump gets to go scot-free, and your husband's probably going to jail. Let's see you try to control the narrative around mis and disinformation surrounding that, because whatever information comes out, we already know that it's going to be true if it's about you and your husband. They're so mad that they can't have Joe Biden going to Facebook and harassing Twitter to remove stuff and getting rid of YouTube videos that say things that they don't like, and that wokeness is under attack, clutching their pearls for wokeness. This has got to be one of the most stupidest and most hilarious videos of The View. These cackling morons that I think I have ever seen. But that's just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
The mistake really is there's too much BS floating out there, and now it's out of our hands. There's no way to control it.
Well, it's said that when truth speaks, everybody gets scared and everybody gets to running. I don't like fake news because fake news tell you one-sided narratives. They don't tell you the truth.